All right, new comments today from Chinese President Xi have many fearing that the communist nation may be on the verge of invading Taiwan or more. Xi announcing that, quote, China will comprehensively strengthen its military training and preparation for any war, end quote. Those comments coming after Xi said that China's security is unstable and uncertain.
So is an invasion on the horizon? Let's bring in our panel to discuss. Author of The Coming Collapse of China, Gordon Chang, and former Congressman Michael Grimm. Both great to see both of you today.
It's good to see you, Heather.
Gordon, I'll start with you. Is an invasion inevitable? And what do you think about the significance of foreign policy and the foreign policy disasters of the Biden administration being, one of the issues driving people to the polls, because we're not hearing about that?
Well, nothing is inevitable, Heather, but clearly Xi Jinping is preparing for war. And it's not just the military that he's getting ready. It's China's civilian population. So there's mobilization of entire society. Now, I think part of this is because the Biden administration foreign policy has really been a failure from Afghanistan to Ukraine. Xi Jinping thinks he has an opportunity, and his increasingly hysterical language is a warning. I think that they're concerned about what's happening inside China as the Chinese people are seething and are basically defying Communist Party rule.
You know, Michael, one of the things that concerns me when I see this is when you have a leader of a communist country essentially saying they're preparing for war, that's like it becomes the reason for being. And if that's a country's reason for being, the only way they manifest that is through war.
Bob, you're 100% right. But listen, none of this should be a surprise. I don't think that the aggression of the Communist Party of China is surprising. It's been happening. I mean, if you look over the last several years, they've been certainly increasing their aggression throughout the South China Sea. You see it not just towards Taiwan, but Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia. They sunk a Vietnamese ship. So we've been seeing this aggression increase, and I wholeheartedly agree with my friend there, Gordon Chang, that this is also bolstered by the incompetence and ineptitude of the current administration. Our failures in Afghanistan and the way we've handled Russia with respect to Ukraine is certainly giving them an opportunity. At least they perceive it as an opportunity. And I personally do think they are going to try to annex Taiwan.
You just mentioned Ukraine. There was this Chinese trade show that pulled a video message from the European Union Council president that was calling for China's help in ending the war on Ukraine. And now the EU Council president is set to meet with Xi next week in Bali. Do you think that meeting happens? Gordon, this is to you. And will China actually help end the conflict?
Well, right now, China has been helping Russia, certainly all in, whether we're talking about elevated commodity purchases, which are effectively financing the war, or even military assistance, which we're seeing in open source reporting. I believe President Biden will meet Xi Jinping in Bali at the G20. God knows what's going to happen there. But Xi Jinping right now, as Michael Grimm has been saying, is at this point where it can do anything. And we can be taken by surprise because we have a political establishment in the U.S. We have a Pentagon that is oblivious to what's occurring in Asia.
I hope not, but we'll talk more about this in the future. Gordon Chang, Michael Grimm, thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Bob and Heather.